That evening, Ethan sat alone on the lower deck, head in his hands. He didn't want the recognition. He didn't want questions. His daughter didn't even know he'd ever worn a uniform. All she knew was that her father loved her more than anything, and he intended to keep her far from his past. But the past had kicked the door down. Admiral Kane found him again. This time without attendance, without rank, without ceremony, just a man who owed another man his life. "Ethan," Kane said softly, "you can't hide forever." "I'm not hiding," Ethan replied. "I'm protecting the only thing I have left." "Your daughter." Kane nodded. "I know." Ethan stiffened. "Don't involve her. She needs to know who her father really is." Ethan shook his head. "She knows enough. I'm just her dad." Kane sighed. "You were more than that. You still are." Ethan stood to leave. Kane whispered, "Commander." Ethan froze. "You're still Commander Cole," Kane said. "The man who led the mission no one else could. The man who—" "Stop," Ethan snapped. His voice cracked with a pain so sharp it could cut through steel. "That man died 5 years ago." Kane saw the agony Ethan tried to bury, and suddenly understood. The mission didn't just cost Ethan his career. It cost him his wife. That night the ship shook with news traveling faster than wind. The janitor, quiet Ethan, had once held a rank whispered in elite circles. A rank given only to those who had led the impossible. Commander of Ghost Unit 0. The squad that never existed on paper. The missions no one survived, except Ethan. Briggs couldn't sleep. Guilt consumed him. He replayed the moment he mocked Ethan, unaware he had insulted a legend. He needed to fix it. So early the next morning, Briggs approached Ethan with trembling hands. "Sir? I'm sorry," he stammered. Ethan looked up. "Don't salute me, kid. Don't apologize. Just be better." Briggs nodded. "Teach me then." Ethan froze. He tried refusing, once, twice. But Briggs's sincerity broke through the wall Ethan had built around his heart. And slowly, a bond began. A soldier with everything to prove. A father with nothing left to lose. Both trying to rise from their own failures. The ship didn't know it yet, but something world-shifting was already in motion. Because while Ethan tried to stay unseen, the Navy leadership had already decided. He was going back on the record. Not as janitor. Not as forgotten veteran. But as the man they saluted without hesitation. The midday alarm tore through the warship like a blade. Sailors sprinted to positions. Radios screamed. Officers barked orders, rapid, frantic, disorganized. The threat was real and deadly, an unidentified vessel closing in with a lock on the Liberty crest. Everyone panicked. Everyone except Ethan. He simply set down his mop and whispered, "Not again." And in that moment, one the crew would talk about for years, Admiral Kane grabbed the ship's intercom. "All stations. Effective now, command is transferred to Commander Ethan Cole." Gasps. Confusion. Shock. But no one questioned it. Ethan walked onto the bridge, not with swagger, but with the posture of a man returning to a life he'd sworn off. The crew parted like waves. "Commander on deck!" Ethan winced. He didn't want this. But hundreds of lives hung in balance. He steadied himself. Status. Officers scrambled to brief him. Enemy vector, missile lock indicators, comms jammed. But Ethan listened calmly, scanning data with eyes that had once read battlefield chaos like a map. He made 2 moves the officers didn't expect. First, he ordered the ship to hold course, no evasive patterns. Second, he walked to the rookie SEAL, Briggs. "You ready to make up for that joke?" Ethan asked. Briggs swallowed. "Yes, sir." Ethan handed him a headset. "You're going to be my eyes on the stern. Trust your instincts." "I'll trust mine." Briggs sprinted out, fearful but determined. Minutes ticked like detonators. The enemy vessel launched something, too small for a missile, too fast for a drone. The ship's system struggled to identify it. Ethan recognized it immediately. EMP torpedo, Ethan announced. It'll shut us down cold. We'll drift helpless. Officers panicked. Ethan didn't. Briggs, Ethan called calmly. Do you see it? Visual at 200 meters. It's weaving like it has a mind of its own. Ethan closed his eyes briefly. He had seen this tech before, on the mission that ruined his life. He whispered, I should have known they'd come back. The Admirals stared at him. Ethan, what aren't you telling us? But there was no time. Activate manual decoys, Ethan ordered. The crew froze. Sir, manual? No one uses manual anymore, Ethan replied. Computerized decoys are too slow. They'll predict them. Manual buys us 10 seconds. 10 seconds isn't enough, a lieutenant yelled. For you? No, Ethan said. For me? Plenty. He took the control panel himself. The deck lights flickered as the torpedo screamed closer. Briggs shouted over comms. It's diving, sir! 40 meters. Ethan didn't blink. 80 meters. 60. 45. He hit the first switch. The ship launched a decoy flare at an impossible angle, one no tactical computer would ever calculate. The torpedo hesitated, confused. But it wasn't enough. Briggs yelled. It's locking back onto us. 20 meters. 15. Ethan whispered. Come on, follow me. He slammed the second switch, this time triggering a maneuver so reckless the bridge gasped. The ship tilted, the decoy spun under the hull, and the torpedo chased it like a magnet. Ethan grabbed the final lever. Briggs! Tell me when it's right on it. Now! Ethan pulled. Boom. Explosion underwater. The ship rocked violently but stayed intact. Silence. Then, cheers erupted across the deck. Officers hugged. Admirals shook hands. But Ethan? Ethan quietly stepped away from the command chair, ready to return to his mop. Except Admiral Kane stopped him. You're not walking away again, Kane said. Commander, the Navy needs you. These sailors need you. Your country needs you. Ethan lowered his gaze. I'm just a father trying to protect his daughter. Kane softened. And today, you protected every family on board. Briggs walked up, tears in his eyes. Sir, you changed my life. I'll live up to your example. I promise. Ethan put a hand on his shoulder. That's all any of us can do. That evening, Ethan finally called Mia. Daddy? Her soft voice filled the speaker. Hey, sweetheart, he whispered. You know how you always say you want to be brave like the heroes in your comic books? Yeah. Well, today, your dad tried to be one of them. Mia giggled. You've always been my hero, Dad. Ethan closed his eyes. That was the only rank he ever wanted. The ship carried on into the night, stable, safe, and forever changed. And though he still held them up the next morning, nobody saw a janitor anymore. They saw a commander who had stepped out of the shadows for one crucial moment and saved them all.